this. That's Remo Williams, Remo's Big Ending. And this, well, I want you to guess in the comments. There's going to be a bunch of comments, hopefully, in this video, since I'm saying it in the first 30 seconds. What do you think this amplifier costs? I'll give you some specs. It's 85 watts a channel into 8 ohms, 150 watts a channel into 4 ohms. It's sold by a German company, but made in China. And it's got that toroidal transformer and giant capacitors and these mega heat sinks. We'll get to the front when I switch it up to speakers. But currently, I am using it on the headphones that it was actually sent to me to test with. You see, this amp was a gift from Ryan Dietz at Mod House. The man who makes argons and tungstens brought this over to show me what it could do to his headphone. And it's been sitting on the floor, and I actually used it in a previous thing. I think I might have reviewed did I review the 9.0 single-sided with it? Whatever. Guesses on price, because here's the thing. It's got a lid, obviously. But that's a lot. Those are a lot. These are a lot. It weighs a lot. The fact that it's designed in Germany, but manufactured in China means something. Price guesses. I'm waiting. Shh, calm down, baby. Have you finished guessing? All right. I'm just going to open the webpage up. That says $166. And this is the biggest of 3 amps. There's 3 of these T-amps. Or Tt.AMPs. It's called the Tt.AMP. Apparently they make a Quattro that's $529, which has 4 500 watt 4 ohm. So that, what are these amplifiers? What? There's so fucking many. You want to hear the best part about the Tt.AMP? Or the T.AMP? Even though it says here it's the Tt.AMP. This has been manufactured, and it says it right there, available since January of the year 2000. That's 24 years ago. And I don't even know what this must have cost when it came out. I would have imagined, due to inflation, $166. No, this doesn't make any fucking sense. If I parted this out, I should make $166 just for the capacitors and the heat sinks and the case and the what the fuck is going on here? So, if you're not part of the tungsten crew, you should know that this thing is sort of legendary there. In fact, people don't just buy one at that price. They get 2 of them and monoblock their tungstens because they're dumb. Stop being stupid. Don't be stupid, you moron. Or just you don't need to. So, if it's 150 watts at 4 ohms, then at 150 ohms, this should be 4 watts output. So that's not like the end of the earth. That's not bad, actually. So, all right. How do I... Here's the thing. I don't make a penny if you buy this because there's no affiliate links for Thomann. And you're going to pay shipping. This has to be shipped from Germany to you. And people were getting 2 of them, and the shipping was like $100 on top of the 2, which was $300. It's still absolutely bizarrely cheap for what you're getting. And it's an old design. Here's the thing. It's an old design. It's a 24-year-old design. But it's a Class AB. It's a big fucking hunka chunka that just, it doesn't matter if it's a 24-year-old design. As long as, and you know the Germans are keeping up to date to make sure all the parts aren't failing. What the hell? So I'll look at the back. We'll talk about its performance on headphones, specifically tungsten, because I tried it on Eris. And if you listen real carefully, listen. There's something buzzing in the power supply because it's just a lot of power supply. And that buzzing comes through on a very efficient headphone. Tungsten, no fucks given. So the back of the unit, you get standard IAC power plug. I'm using I got to sell you something on this channel. So these are the Monoprice hospital power plugs. They're very pretty. They're very straight. They're clear so you can see if there's damage so it doesn't ignite the oxygen that's in your house, which if you're a true audiophile, you fill it with oxygen. So there's that. You get a voltage selector for 115 or 230 because it's a German amp designed to be sold in Germany, but they just happen to sell it also in America. You get very annoying not 5-way binding posts. In fact, you see these things, these CESS adapters This gives me an actual banana plug. And though this looks like it should have one, there is none. Because in Europe, the plugs that plug into the wall will fit into banana plug sockets. So Europe, sorry. It doesn't suck for Europe. It sucks for us. I don't know what Europe does. Anyway, I've got these little stick adapters. They go into like the raw wire slots, and then you can plug this. If you were so inclined, if you want to use it for headphones, like I built this cable out of a Mk2 cable and an adapter here, and it plugs into 4-pin XLR. If you were so inclined, above these annoying, I don't know, one-way binding posts, is it a two-way? It's not even a two-way. You can't even get a spade in there. It's a one-way binding post. There's not even holes in the bottom. You are only putting the holes on the top. You get these speak-on connectors, so you could actually do a locking pro plug-in thing. This is a rack mount amp, by the way, in case you're wondering. There are rack mount ears. So that's your output, channel 1 and channel 2, and your power selector. Moving over, we have ERP, on and off, which ERP is just auto standby. I had to look it up, because what the fuck is ERP? But ERP is 15-minute auto standby. So if you were to put this on your desk, which some of you are going to fucking do, because that's cheaper than SMSL amplifiers, $166 fucking dollars, you would put it to on, and if 15 minutes is no signal to it, click, and it goes off. Because this is going to draw power. I actually don't have my kilowatt available, but I'm sure this is drawing like 25 watts just sitting here at idle. So you'd want it to turn off if you're not using it. Below that are another series of switches. A ground or lift switch. So if you have a hum because of a grounding issue with your setup, you flip the lift and it lifts the ground off, it disconnects that and it grounds itself. You wouldn't really, it's not ideal. You always want to have a fault ground. So you'd leave it on ground unless you're getting weird noise. That doesn't count as weird noise because I switch it, it doesn't happen. You then get a par, st, burr switch. So burr is bridge mono. So you can make this a monoblock. St is stereo, which is what we're using it in currently. And then par is parallel. And I think that just lets you put in one signal and it comes out of each one of those. So instead of getting a split, I think, I don't know, there's not many amplifiers that have parallel settings. So there you go. For your input bay, you get a TRS connector, which you could modify to a just TS for an RCA. So you can buy those little 1/4-inch adapters, plug them in there, and plug regular RCAs in there. You get, I'm going to blow that up. Okay, no. You get your full-size XLR adapter, or connector. And in the middle, there's another 3-way switch that gives you voltage sensitivity. 0.77 volt, which is what you're setting the input voltage to be, or 1.4 volts. So it's asking you, are you giving me a little bit of signal or a lot of bit of signal? And then in the middle is 26 dB, which is a weird setting, but I read the manual because I am occasionally going to do that. And 26 dB, you set that if you have multiple of these T-amps from different ranges. So if you have a big one, this is the big one, the 150, there's a 100, and then like a 75. If you have all 3 different sizes and you want them all to coalesce, you set it to 26, and that's specifically for this amplifier. That will be a 26 dB thing, so all your sources should be fine, despite the differences in power. And that's the back of the unit. You got handles here to lift it, because it's fucking heavy. And now we're going to talk about headphone performance. Specifically, I don't have a Susvara here, or a Susvara Unveiled. I've got tungsten double-sided and tungsten single-sided. I haven't done the review of the tungsten yet, by the way. Only because this headphone, which I begged Ryan to charge more for it, you people are just inundating him. It's as bad as Argon was. 14-week waits for this. So why the hell would I put out a video to add another 14-week wait to the 14-week? No one wants 28-week waits for headphones. They're amazing. They're obviously pretty much one of the best headphones in the world, top 3 minimum. And this might be one of the best places to amplify it. My friend just got one down in DC, my friend Matt. You'll know Matt. He got one, and he's using it on the Emotiva, the Bass X100. And it works. And he says, it's up there, but I'm wondering if I should get another amplifier. Tell him to get this. Buy this amp. Buy this amp, build an adapter, wire it up. Because, like I said, there's 150 ohm which makes this only a 4-watt amplifier. This whole fucking thing for this makes it 4 watts. And when I put this on my head, and there's volume knobs in the front, or gain knobs in the front, and I'm sourcing it. I should already talk about the sources. Black Ice Aries, using not the preamp stuff here, just the tube DAC, outputting to the Audiophile S-17 Class A headphone amp preamp. So tube DAC into Class A, very hot, Jesus Christ, 63 degrees Celsius, Class A headphone amp preamping through these Italian RI cables into this. So the volume control is here. I'm at like 30 out of 56, I think this goes to. On low gain, those maxed out. Hit me next track. Hold on. Oh. 876. So, now I'm at 50. Because I lowered the gain switch here, which is probably beneficial. That's dumb. This whole thing is dumb. When I do the tungsten double-sided, you can consider this like a mini review of the tungsten double-sided. Because this showed up from the creator to say, hey, you should try this. Ta-da. And there's gonna be a point in the timestamps where I actually put speakers on the desk. We turn this around so you can see the front of it. But to really focus on the fucking absurdity of this right now. This is the steamroller. And that's what's driving. This is basically Prince and Rick James are co-driving a steamroller. So it's gonna push anything. But it's gonna do it with fucking style. And this is the ultimate sort of setups for like the tungsten. Best I ever heard the tungsten was the Black Ice standard like straight up DAC into the F360 soundstage enhancer tube pre, into the F35 35 watt per channel tube amp. It was tube into tube into tube into tungsten, and my fucking mind exploded. So this is super duper cheap, affordable power. And then you just fuck with the fucking signal in front of it. So there you go. This is perfect for this. This is for you. It's perfect. This is perfect. If someone came to my house and said, I want to hear tungsten, but you got to give me the best, straight up best example. It's not the topping L70. It's not the what the hell else do I got in the house? Actually, I haven't tried. I have the monoblock B200 toppings, which will now do 4 or 8 ohms. They only used to do 8, but I'm going to try those. But this is a guarantee. This is a guarantee. You don't get any noise from the amp because it's such a hard to drive headphone. It just quells all the noise down. And then you just fuck around and find out with the source gear. Just the more twisted, the better. The more sounds. If I switch it to the other thing, it had the soundstage adjustment and the sub bass adjustment and the high gain. If you haven't seen my review of the Aries, please go check it out. That thing, I said in the review of it, that's the thing you put on something if you're done hearing it on everything else. So I've heard this on a clean DAC with tungsten. Now it's just time to fuck it and then double fuck it. So we're good. Other headphones, other IMs. My 32 ohm, super easy to drive Eris, which is using the stickers, by the way. I will be selling stickers at some point. Probably not this one because I didn't commission this. But I will be making and commissioning and selling sticker packs for like $25. I'll put them in an envelope. I'll use a forever stamp. And if you want to decorate your Eris and help me pay for my stupid expensive fucking Canon printer, which will get its own review. It'll get its own fucking review. I got so much to say. Look for that in the future. So, headphones in general, only the baddest, biggest, stupidest fucking Sasfaras and like tungsten. That's it. What was it? I can't even think. There's like 5 headphones that might need this much power. The 32 ohm Eris, I could use it. I had to lower the knobs in front to half. I had to switch the input thing to the lowest, to the higher voltage expectation. And I had that on like 20 to 30. I could hear that buzzing in the headphone. But when I turned it up, it was clean. It was clean beyond that. It didn't sound all fucking crushed and bad. It just was like, we talk about headroom in this environment. And I know Golden Sound had a wonderful rant for like 7 minutes about headroom in his chat. And like headroom doesn't mean the volume knob is just halfway. That doesn't mean you have more to go, because volume knobs are liars. There's nothing that says that is half the amount of power. That could be 90% of the power. There's only 10% left. You don't know. This has headroom. This and these store the potential energy that could be put through it. There's headroom here. And that's the only way I can describe how the tungsten sound. It sounds like, for the first time in months, since I've hooked it up to this last, oh, yeah, I could just keep going. I'm not getting even close to the ceiling of like, it's loud, but you know, if that bass hits, it's gonna clip. The ceiling is literally that high. I can't even touch the fucking ceiling. That's what this feels like. So don't get it for headphones unless you're getting it for tungsten or something else stupid and so far. And I really don't think you need two of them. I just don't. Unless you're Metal 571 and you listen that loud, then maybe you could be the dumbass that gets two of these. So let's pause this for a second. Oh, by the way, Magia cable now on sale. In case you're wondering what this beautiful purple cable is. This indestructible, beautiful purple cable. Ooh! On sale on APOS. See, I was like the Magia cable. Let's turn this thing around now. Unfortunately, disconnect these headphones. And try this with speakers. Oh, my fucking God. Otis Taylor, Simple Mind. This must be a song about me. Like, it actually sounds bigger and airier than it ever did. This fucking... What the hell? It's so dumb. All right, we're re-recording now. Here we go. Turned around. It's currently in the off state. I got these. You know what these are? Anyone got a guess? We've already guessed price and you're all wrong. Guess on this. These are the Buchart P200s? S200s, right? They're so... These and the wood ones over there were the first Bucharts ever in America. And they offered them to me either used, like a used set that I'd review and then send on, or I could buy them for half price. So I got these for half price from Buchart. These are the ones that have two more of these drivers in the back. These are passive speakers. And I never get to use them because my life is just pain and hell of expensive speakers that are sitting on my floor. Look at that. Cabas Rialtos. How you doing, boys? How about you $4,000 speakers also, the Buchart A10s? How you do? Whatever. Point is, I never get to hear these. So, front tour before I turn it on. Gain controls, channel 1 and channel 2. Level meters with peak indicators. A Pro for protection, a BR for bridge, a PAR for parallel, a power indicator, and a big ol' motherfucking switch. Click, click, click. 3 clicks. You hear 3 clicks. Power is indicated. Protection light, I think, only goes on if something goes wrong. And then the protection light will flash. Our volume is at 3 here, so I know it'll actually still be outputting signal. We are playing Nightmare Revisited from the Nightmare Before Christmas Revisited album. Let's turn this up. So even though I've wired them correctly, they're backwards. So this is left and this is right, which wouldn't have mattered to you because the camera, since it's upside down in my head, is backwards and I don't reverse it often. So you'll never notice. You'll never know. So this knob, by the way, is not a smooth knob. It is a notchy knob. It's a I counted, I think, 18 notches. It's 19 notches to vertical. That's so much resolution, and they're accurate too. Because with the headphone, if you put it to that, and I had one like 1 notch over, I could tell there was a discrepancy. So let's pause this now. This doesn't seem like it's going to be too loud. I'm just going to max these out. Because these are gain adjustments. You're supposed to set these and not... This is not your volume. You're not buying this for your desk and like unplug everything in there. That's your volume control. You're supposed to preamp it with a single knob with another source. You could technically use this to adjust the volume, but then you're bad. Don't do that. Don't be bad. So, Nightmare's paused. We have to go to Mark Rebbilet if we're going to use this on a... Mark Rebbilet. I have the entire We Outside live stream ripped because Mark, if you want my money, take my AdSense money. You are welcome to it. 15, 25, 35. There's music in here somewhere. There we go. We're barely lighting up the signal indicators. So let's see, if I turn this down, then I max this out, does that? No. This amp is so powerful, we're not even getting, like, what? It was, that's at 30 out of 60. And this, maxed.
Yo, my name is Nori. I'm gonna spit a little verse for you guys. I'm feeling it in this Harlem corner. I don't want to fall from this.
Let's see if I get something more hammering.
None! Oh, and you know what else? No noise at all!
Volumes are maxed out here. There's nothing else to do. This amplifier is... we're not even at negative 13 to the max of what this amplifier can handle. Now, granted, this is more like designed for like big PA speakers. I mean, probably efficient ones. But what? That's so much. I also really like the fact that there's screws exposed here, which is usually not my thing. Like, that's a no-no. Here, let me get to the top panel so you can see. This is here to cover the top of this. I believe it's additional shielding, or you know what it is? It's also to prevent it from grounding out anything touching. But you got your vents right above. Oh, don't fuck this one up. Boom. So there it is. So you have vents, the same vents on the bottom as the top, so it just goes straight up off the heat sinks. It'll be real sad if you just can't see the peak meters or anything. Let's put on the other Mark Rebbilet. This is one everyone knows. This came from We're Outside episode 2 from one of his live streams. I should have commented it in the...
Give it the fuck up right there.
Yeah. It's not even showing a signal input. I wonder if it's because... Wait a second. I wonder if it's because I have the input switch. Let me give that a flippity floop. Hold on. We're going. Real nice. Okay. Let's see if that changes anything. It may or may not, although that should just make it slightly louder. Let's lower that.
I've been wanting to do that.
That might be worse now.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm your fan, basically.
I just want to keep playing things that are not going to get me. Like we're bouncing off zeros there. This is straight DAC out, so this isn't even. This is just. Oh. Yeah, and as soon as you lower that, those go with it, so. I'll get another live stream. That's We're Outside episode 5. Obviously not. It doesn't have the same charm. So yeah, peak indicators and volume indicators that are basically useless unless, which is not, no, it's if you don't see any lights, that's good. That means you're not even coming close to using this thing's full potential. If you see 13 or -8 or -3 lighting up, you're getting there. You should never see it on a headphone. And even on these speakers, which are relatively hard to drive, it's not bad. But as far as powering them... Jesus. Let me try one other song. This will get me a copyright though. Yeah, I can't even touch -13. It's just barely putting on the signal indicator. So if I had a complaint, and I always have to complain, it would be that these indicators aren't, like the signal indicator should come on at like a whisper. Just like it actually makes me question if it's going to auto turn off. Like if I just play music quietly, it might just be like, the signal light's not even coming on, just click off. Jesus. Look, I'm a price to performance whore. You should know that. The fact that I review very expensive stuff now actually makes me more critical of things. Because when something is cheap, like this is, and is a 30-pound, it's like 30 pounds, it's insanely heavy. That once something has this much machine in it for like what seems like a wrong price, 166, no, don't you mean like 466? 466 would make more sense. 366 would be a bargain. 166 is you're fucking stupid. I guess when you make the same amp for 24 years, you just sort of, like, there's got to be a factory. There's got to be one factory in China that someone was working at the factory, got married the first year, had a child. Now their child is foreman on the fucking factory line, still making the amplifier. The same amp their dad made. And their dad's still making the amp. Like, they just, it's like nothingness. It just fucking rolls. And so, of course, it's only $166. It feels like they're not making profit on this. Like, I am honestly floored at the value. Two things I hate. Banana plug things are fucking atrocious. I will link to these CESS adapters you can put the pins in and then get just straight up. Actually, you can use spades in this, but I wouldn't recommend it because then if they touch, it's all bad news bears. In fact, I would be concerned about these little exposed metal bits and probably wrap those in tape once I plugged in my bananas. And I think the signal indicator should be on even with the slightest sound. And even if you don't get the peak, that's fine. I mean, I guess if you see lights flashing, just pay attention. Something's gone incredibly wrong, or you have incredibly hard to drive speakers or headphones. This thing is dumb. You're dumb. You're the dumbest thing. And, like, it doesn't look terribly unclassy either. There are just some, and I'll be the first one to say this, the old crowns, even the new crowns, are kind of like, yeah, get you doing the shape and the fins, but this is just black box knobs, single, slightly off-center power LED, monster switch. Yes, the sound's not coming from the speakers. That hum is coming from the box. Could be my power here, though. I want to say this before I, like, y'all will Zeos, it's noisy. This is plugged into a power strip that's plugged into that extension cord, that's plugged into another extension cord, that's plugged into a UPS on the other side of the curtain that all of this is connected to. Honestly, the worst possible power. I wish I had magic rocks or an actual I should have a power conditioner here, but this desk is relatively new. I've done like 3 reviews here. So if I plug this in elsewhere, that might stop. And yours may not hum. I'm just... Plus, I've got a million lights on. Echo. Turn off near field desk. Fucking hum's gone. Because there's a power supply right there for these lights. So... it's still here. It's way less. Do I have... oh my God, wait a second. That's good news. Eureka! I've created dirty power. That means I get to test all those fucking products that are like, will eliminate hum in your system. Holy shit, this is great news. You've all witnessed the greatest news. This is Major Lazer Pon de Fleur, which is a great song. You know what? I'm going to leave these up here for a hot minute, and I'm going to listen to them. Probably not with this amp. I might... look, I'm not going to knock it for speakers. Get it by all means for speakers is what it's designed for. The real reason this is in my house is for tungsten, which is on the couch over there. What's the cheapest amp to run tungsten? You know, there are little amps, but this is the cheapest amp to run tungsten. Like, that isn't one of those weird Chinese ones with high voltage. Because this might be the best amp to run tungsten. It's one of those. I'll find out if the B200s are going to compete. But yeah, I'm done. Now that I know the lights are causing... I wonder if that's what's causing... Because the lights were off when this was humming too. Patreon subscribes to support this channel. If you like that wallpaper, every wallpaper I've ever used is in the wallpaper sync, linked in the bottom of the description. It'll literally download 2.5 gigs of every wallpaper I've ever used. It's just because I can't link them directly onto fucking YouTube, because YouTube hates Imager links now. Link to this, non-affiliated link to this, affiliated links to everything fucking else, except for boot cards, which they don't sell these anymore, so I can't even link to them. That's another thing. It's a dead speaker. Like, I can't tell you to buy this. I want to so bad. I can link to the Philips monitor. Zeos, link to the Philips monitor. I reviewed this. It is sex. It is a sexy ass monitor. I'll link to the Aries. I'll link to the S-17. I'll link to these, even though I don't make any money on these either. I just really like these Italian cables. I guess we're just going to have to rely on the Patreon and Subscribestar to support this channel with $5 a month, getting you access to reviews early, participation in the yard sales on the 1st to the 10th of every month, lossless sound demos for speakers and headphones, and a monthly Q&A that I will answer your questions in a video, which is a public video, so you can see the answers, but you can't ask the questions unless you're a patron. $10 a month gets you in the private behind-the-scenes Telegram chat to ask me questions anytime you want, and into a lifetime Swap Meet channel. So if you join the $10 tier, say hello in the chat. Swap Meet channel, buy and sell, trade gear forever and ever and ever. I'm too lazy to kick anyone out of that. Oh, and I was thinking about doing tier lists, but it would be only on Patreon because I fucking hate tier lists. But if it makes you join, I'll do it. And there'll be a joke because there's no way I could even imagine doing it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, I'm done. You're done. Echo, turn on near field desk. Echo, turn on near field desk. That actually went up slowly. That went on and then it was like... Weird. Fucking weird. Echo, turn off near field desk. Fucking drops in like half. Okay, I'm done. You're done. We're done. Thank you to Ryan Dietz. Ending it where we started.